Well, as most of you guys don't know, I'm running for president in the year 2020 or 2016, whichever one you want to vote for me. But 2020 is probably when I'll have everything settled better. But 2016 works out too. Now, in this one is basically the social justice warriors' kryptonite and how I'm going to choose my cabinet. Now, of course, I'll talk about a few other ridiculous things. Here's the kryptonite to social justice warriors and also Republicans, conservatives, liberals, all these groups, especially these politicians and the police. Here it is, the United States Constitution. Okay, let's go ahead and go through, no, we're going to go through all the amendments, don't worry about that, for those who are scared to death of the Constitution. First off, when I'm president, everyone will have to, before you can even graduate from high school, even before you get into high school, you must know and understand the U.S. Constitution. Not just have all this stuff memorized, okay? Just memorizing, not enough. You have to understand it and know what it means, why we have the Constitution, how it was formed, all these things you will have to know. No ands, ifs, or buts. The Constitution will have to be learned. Everyone's going to have to know it. And this is for any schools, whether you're public or private. If you get any type of federal funds, you have to make sure you know this thing. This sucker has to be taught. Okay? And it has to be taught, of course, non-biasedly. You can have some liberal trying to reinterpret it, or some conservative. That's why you take it multiple years also. And that's one other thing, before I get into this. The school system has done a good job chasing out conservatives. I'm not a conservative, I'm not a liberal. I can't stand either side. And, if you watch some of my other videos and you listen, I'll probably get into a little bit more in this one. Actually, I will, because I'm going through the amendments, so obviously I'm going to talk about the idiot conservatives as well as the liberals. But anyways, idiot liberals too, but, anyways, they've both done a good job at screwing this over. Let's go ahead and just go through it. I really don't care about what I was about to say. Of course, I forgot, but who cares? Amendment 1. This is what liberals and social justice warriors do not like. Freedom of religion. Religious people actually don't like that one. You may say, what? Okay, hear me out. They complain, well, they took prayer out of school. You can't read your Bibles. Yeah, you can still pray in school. Prayer was not taken out of school. Bible was not taken out of school. What was changed is that a teacher cannot force their religion on you. But most schools, especially public schools, don't care for this. They want their brand of religion taught to their kids, to the students. They won't be too happy if a Muslim came in and started teaching the Quran. They'd be pissed. Of course, they don't even know the Quran, but they certainly know what they hear from others. Go to the Quran Reloaded. That would be your best bet. It's a YouTube channel, the Quran Reloaded. Freedom of speech. Oh man. Freedom of speech is something that will piss off a social justice warrior. Oh man, does that piss them off. They hate freedom of speech. Think about it. Milo, I can't pronounce his last name. He gives a speech and these Black Life Matters people come in and start yelling and screaming. There was another one check out the UMass protests. This large lady and a bunch of other people start getting in on it. And there are others where people blow horns and all this stuff. They do not know how to debate. Black Lives Matter, the third wave feminists, social justice. Well, all three of them are social justice warriors, obviously. But you know what I'm saying. They do not like freedom of speech. They stand in one place, another person stands here, and then they debate back and forth, give facts. They can't do it. A social justice warrior will not be able to do that. Okay? Or you have a meeting, people giving speech, when they do the question and answer, you ask questions. And of course, another thing you'll notice, there's very few conservative groups on most college campuses. And that's what I was about to get into earlier. They did a good job chasing conservatives off of schools. That's why some of these millennials and these social justice warriors are so, listen to them. Kill men, lock men up, and this, and all. Men shouldn't have any rights. White men, all white privilege, and all this garbage. White privilege, please. If you teach college long enough, you'll notice that blacks have. If you teach at HBCU, blacks, if they get in a STEM field, are pretty much guaranteed a job. Okay, And let me tell you something. They are just as smart as any white person I've ever met. The only real difference I've noticed between blacks and whites is black people, you can joke. HBCU, there's things you can say that if you say at a white college, you violated my safe space. That's un-PC, that's this and that. That's the crap they'll give you. That's why I try to stay away from white folks. That's why in another video I said, you want to avoid a fight, stay away from the white. They tend to make up most of the social justice warriors. You do not see, you will see these liberal groups attack conservative groups. If they are on campus, they have meetings and stuff, they'll go and barge in and act like nonsense. But you don't see the conservatives doing the same thing to the liberals. You just don't see it. You know, if conservatives had their anti-abortion rally, liberals will show up, get in their face, cuss and scream and act like nonsense. And I already told you my stance on abortion in another video, so I don't got to do it here. I'm not going to tell a woman she can't do it. You know, the government has no right to tell a person what they can and can't do with their body. Freedom of the press. Both sides, liberals and conservatives, hate this. They want the press controlled. If you don't believe me, go to Europe or any other country. You see how controlled the United States media is. When they, whenever you watch the news, you know, and they're going through the credits, look who owns them. Of course, right of assembly and petition. Neither side really care about right of assembly. Amendment 2, oh, nothing inflames liberals more than this one. They'll quote the first part. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. See, that's what the Second Amendment tells you. We are the militia supposed to have guns. And then they ignore the second part where it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This does not mean that I'm against gun laws, okay, gun control. I'm for it. First off, we got to enforce the ones we have. Second off, come up with one that will keep guns out of the hands of criminals. I hear these stupid professors talk sometimes. Well, if we allow our students to carry guns, why does it stop them from shooting me if I give them a bad grade? Or someone says something bad in class, they shoot up the class. Like, first off, genius, you have to be 21 and older, and most places don't have a gun. Okay? Second off, what's to stop them now from doing it? And yeah, I agree. Having a gun on you, people, you know, you hear these idiot comments. You know, someone gets robbed or carjacked. Well, if they had a gun, they could have blown that person away. They're so stupid, they don't realize. If I already have a gun at you, you could be armed up to the teeth. It won't freaking matter. I already got my gun on you. You ain't getting to your freaking gun. And if you are in your house and you have a gun, good for you. But if you're asleep, you don't have a dog or a house alarm, and I get in there and have my gun at your head, what you gonna do? So yeah, go ahead, own a gun, I don't care. Nothing wrong with owning a gun, I'm not going to stop it. But here's what I would like to do. If you own a gun and it gets stolen or lost, you will not be allowed to buy a gun for 18 months. No more guns for 18 months. If it happens a second time, 5 years. Third time, you lose your right to own a gun. Just like felons. Why, some people may ask? Because one of the ways people seem to be getting guns is by legal gun owners. They go buy a gun and give it to little Jimmy Jackass because he has a criminal record. Amendment 3, housing of soldiers. Well, no one seems to be breaking that one right now. Amendment 4, search and arrest warrants. That is what the conservatives do not like. They do not like that. And the police don't like that. Because, you know, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures should not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things to be seized. Nowhere in there does it say that the government has a right to amend this, which is what they completely have done now. That's why the theme of my campaign is bring back the Constitution. Now, obviously, there has, you know, some of it might be reasonable, but nobody will be able to search your belongings. If I become president, search your belongings, search you without a warrant, without probable cause. They must either have probable cause or a warrant. And if they have probable cause, they need to spell that out to you and get a warrant. If a judge didn't approve of it, then of course they're in hot water. That's just the way it's going to be. Now, as I said, this is the social justice warriors and liberals and conservatives are politicians' kryptonite. Politicians are just puppets. They're idiots. They're scum. They sell it to the highest bidder. Most, not every one of them, obviously. Now, how will I choose my cabinet? Now, let's face it. If you read this, you know that the president really has hardly any power. He's basically a puppet, or she. Basically a puppet. He or she is basically a puppet. Nothing more, but a puppet. Now, how will I choose my cabinet and VP? I do not care if they have a crab or a slug between their legs. I do not care if they like men or women. I don't care who they're attracted to. I don't care about their sexuality. I don't care what gender they think they are or they actually are. I do not care. I do not care about their race or any of that stuff. For VP, obviously, I'm going to have to take the nation of origin. Obviously, they have to be from the United States, and they have to be above 30. But the cabinet, I'm not going to care. I'm not, and I will pass the law that whenever on any application for loans, for getting into any job or school, they may not look at you, know your name, your age, your race, or your gender, or your religion or lack thereof. They may not. That's another thing. There are certain cities, certain places, where it's illegal to be an atheist. Yes, there is. Look it up. Go to Bible Reloaded, and Aronra destroys Chick Check. He mentions it. He gives you the links and everything in there. Aronra, well, the Bible Reloaded, Aronra destroys Chick Check. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I will be the first atheist president. Now, these Christians like to swear on the Bible. Obviously, I'm not going to swear on the Bible. Even if I was a Christian, I wouldn't. Because when I was a Christian, I noticed in the Bible it says not to do those type of things. I will swear on the Constitution of the United States of America. Since I have to protect that document, that's what I'm going to swear upon. And as for our soldiers, they deserve better treatment. First thing is first, anyone on government assistance, you will have to pay it back at least a certain percentage. And you have to do some work. Cleaning the road, whatever, doing something, if you're able. Now, disability insurance is excluded. Disability, if you have a disability, that's excluded. Corporate welfare, you have to pay that back 100% plus interest. And it'll be fair interest, not 50%, about 5 to 7% interest. You have to pay that back. No corporation is going to get away with that. There's a lot of other things I can talk about, And like I said before, with social justice people. If you can't handle other people's opinions, then don't expect them to listen to yours. If other people's opinion doesn't matter to you, then your opinion doesn't matter to anyone else either. Remember that. Your opinion does not matter to me if my opinion doesn't matter to you. If you don't want to hear my thoughts or my opinions, then I do not want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Okay? It's okay we disagree. I do not care. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. I'm sick of listening to liberals and conservatives thinking each other's better, and you got liberals using stupid buzzwords, calling people racist, sexist, homophobic, and all that crap. And if they call you that, you get a big smile and say, thank you. Seriously, do that. Respond that way to them. And then you got the other side, conservatives, libtards, they hate America. Liberals, they hate women. Come on. Both sides care about the country. Neither of them are really anti-American. And there's no reason why people can't actually listen to each other. Imagine if the feminists and the Men's Rights Association actually got together and spoke to each other. And it's mainly feminists that are acting wild, pulling fire alarms, using the air horns and crap like that so no one else can speak. Well, I'm going to end this video now because I don't want to make it too long. I personally can't stand long videos when I watch them, so I don't try to make my videos not too long. Please feel free to watch my other videos. Feel free to subscribe or like. Remember, I am a third-party candidate. Feel free to leave a comment. And remember, this is not real. I'm not actually really running for president. If you vote for me, and if I did get enough votes and I won, yes, I will take the job seriously. I would choose my cabinet wisely, my advisors wisely. Remember, these president makes their decisions based on what their cabinet and their advisors tell them. You really think they're doing everything on their own? You're crazy. I mean, Obama was a what you call it, a community organizer, and he only was in government for 7 months. So please, I'm just as qualified as some of these other guys, and at least I have a college education. You can't say that by Andrew Jackson. And also, that's another thing I should mention too. Native Americans will definitely get treated a hell of a lot better under my administration than any other administration. They got screwed in this country. They're the only group of people who can actually say they're oppressed. The only ones, and they will get a fair shake under my administration. Thanks.